Well, hey, real estate fans, welcome back to the podcast. I'm Alicelema. I'm a broker at John L. Scott in beautiful Southern Oregon. And today we're going to talk about the forecast for the second half of 2024. Now, the first half of 2024 has been quite the bumpy ride, hasn't it? But we do have these interesting tidbits of the seven, biggest housing reporters, I guess we'll call them. And we're going to start with the home prices. So we've got a little graph here, and this is all from KCM, Keeping Current Matters. And you can see that the predictions are all under 5% appreciation, but I want to point out the far right end of the chart because NAR, National Association of Realtors, Freddie Mac, and Zillow, these people are not as optimistic. And you know why? Because we all kind of work in what we call the combat zone. So especially the National Association of Realtors, this is where the agents report in kind of what they're doing as well as what the data is projecting. So they're projecting that home prices will continue to rise, but more slowly, and that has to do with the price, the push and pull of price and interest rate. Interest rates went up really fast. They went up really high compared to where they started from, and they have not come down, and we thought they were. So this has created a more stagnant environment, albeit low inventory still, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But the home prices are going to go up ever so slightly and slowly. I'm going to predict, I like making predictions. I'm going to predict it's going to be in that 1 to 2% appreciation. Southern Oregon does a little bit better than the national average, but I just don't see prices going up very much because the interest rates are just hanging high. Okay, so that's the home price projection. The next projection has to do with mortgage rates and inflation. And you can see here that for the second half of 2024 on this chart, we're looking at somewhere between 6.5 and 7. And that's not really much different from where we are right now. And again, it's that stubborn stickiness of the interest rates, and that makes the prices a little bit softer. But it's a great deal making time if you're on the buyer side. If you're on the seller side, you just got to give a little more. You don't have to give away the store, but it's a good time for both. It's just the sellers don't get absolute top dollar anymore, and they are giving more concessions like closing costs or repairs, stuff like that. But here we're looking at not much different for the second part of 2024. But if the inflation cools down, well, first of all, if inflation cools down, then the interest rates could come down. But if that happens, then I'm thinking some of these really scary, smart people are predicting that the economy is in more trouble. So, they're playing this game with the interest rates to slow the economy down. If they slow the economy down too far, then they got to bring the interest rates down to kind of make up for it and stimulate again. So if all that happens, then maybe we're not in such good shape, as an economy, but that's kind of what we're looking for. And having some stability, even though it's at these higher rates, is not terrible. We're getting used to it. And quite frankly, just to have one predictable thing in the housing market for a while can be good. Okay, so that's the inflation mortgage rate prediction. Lastly, we're going to talk about number of home sales. So here's a chart compared to 2023, and they're looking at, again, tops 5 million. So we've had a pretty low sale quantity during this period, and it is also still low inventory, even though we have more houses for sale this time this year than we did this time last year. When you see these taglines in the news that says home sales should hold steady, I'm adding on at low volume. So we still don't have enough inventory to meet the needs of the buyers. We do have more construction, but the construction, especially in Oregon, it's really not enough to meet our needs. So we're kind of left with that. And this actually puts pressure on prices. So we've got kind of a push me, pull you between all three of these elements, the home prices, the mortgage rates, and the number of home sales. They're all, gnawing at each other a little bit, but we don't see a lot of change unless something else happens in the world. If we get any more really weird stuff, then that could affect our economy adversely. I feel like we're due for some really good news. I don't know. It's just been a while since we've had some really shots of positive economic stuff or world stuff. But if that happens, that could change the housing market as well. But for right now, it looks like we're just kind of in this, what I call bottoming. We're kind of at a bottom. I don't see it getting much worse. I really don't. We just don't have the data to show that unless there's some other weird world event, and we'll just see. So in the meantime, that's what they're predicting for the rest of 2024. Give me a call, give me a text if you want to talk about any of this. We go through the numbers every week. We've got our market statistics video, which does a micro dive into Jackson County, Josephine County, and Klamath County. We've also got the radio show, which has a lot of good education. So yeah, give me a call, give me a text. Let's talk about what you're going to do next in your real estate life. My number is 541-301-7980. That's 541-301-7980. Have a beautiful Southern Oregon weekend and hug those you love. Bye now.